And when Jesus appeared in his glory on the mountain, a voice came out of the clouds. This is my son, my chosen. Listen to him. These words we hear on the second Sunday of Lent. Another confirmation that Jesus is Lord, and that glory is the destination of all who listen to him. This dramatic scene on the mountain developed in the presence of Moses and Elijah, indicating fulfillment of law and prophecy in Jesus. Something new is now to come, a new covenant. Jesus is the first in all what we can think of. And this makes him also the first missionary, receiving reward now, but not without persecution. And this is to be taken into account when we look into the context of this transfiguration on the mountain. This transfiguration takes place between the first prophecy of the Passion and the beginning of Jesus' journey to Jerusalem, where he will be crucified and die. Surely, when your brother or sister is down, you try to lift him or her up with consoling words, or better, with what is still possible. Even in the army, when the soldiers are marching through the mountains and exhaustion knocks at the door, they are encouraged. Our destination is not far anymore, just at the next mountain. And lo and behold, energy and hope return only to discover that after the mountain there is a next mountain. The glory in which Jesus appears is likewise an encouragement for his disciples. Tough times and trials are awaiting them. This glorification is to remind the disciples that even the death of Jesus is not the end, but the beginning of new life, of glorified life. And so we see a movement from darkness to light, from death to life. This we need to keep in mind when it comes to today's first reading. Usually the first reading and the gospel are in line with each other, carrying a similar message. This time it is not different. The Lord made a covenant with Abraham, saying, "To your descendants I give this land, from the river of Egypt to the river Euphrates." Expansion of lands. It is very much part of these our times. Russia has set its eyes on Ukraine. The United States of America has set its eyes on Greenland. And Israel has set its eyes on more and more lands than it possesses already. The words of the book Genesis, as we hear them today, seem to justify this move. To Abraham's descendants, I give this land, from the river of Egypt to the river Euphrates. But then notice that there is a condition given in Deuteronomy chapter 11, verse 22 till 24, that precedes the promise. If you shall diligently keep all these commandments which I command you to do them, to love the Lord your God, to walk in all his ways, and to cleave unto him, then will the Lord drive out all these nations from before you, all the way to the river Euphrates. Do not underestimate this condition, because going through the history of Israel, we see that only at one point in time, Israel controlled the land of Syria right up to the river Euphrates. And this was during the reign of King David. Mention of the river Euphrates and evil continues straight into the book of Revelation. Not walking in the ways of the Lord, as the evil mentioned expresses, leads the people of Israel further away from the condition earlier set by the Lord our God. At this point, remember the prophecies of the Passion and how the crucifixion and death of Jesus came to play out. Evil had its way, but in the end, glory was victorious, as today's transfiguration on the mountain shows us. At the end of time and on Judgment Day, it will all be made clear to us how this covenant of the Lord with Abraham concerning the land stretching out to the river Euphrates is to be understood. And surely everyone will get what belongs to him as the new and eternal covenant written in the blood of Christ foreshadows. Glory to him to whom glory belongs.